Good afternoon, Bobcats. Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to what I hope will be another great week for you at the Helena Middle School. On today's B.O.B lesson, I'm going to talk about the importance of building an academic foundation and the importance of 7th grade. I made this B.O.B lesson a year ago, originally for 7th and 8th grade, so you'll see a little bit more of an 8th grade reference in it, specifically with the second part with taking the box away. But the message still remains for 7th grade and taking a 7th grade box away, and the importance of bringing your A game every single day, every single year, ensuring that you're building that proper academic foundation so that you can go from this step to the next step and off the screen throughout your time in your K through 12 education. Some of you may go longer. So let's get rocking and rolling on this B.O.B lesson. Hope you guys make it a great week. Hope you get a good message out of this, the importance of a strong foundation in life and building that strong foundation your 7th grade year. Go out and make it a great week. All right, Bobcats, this B.O.B lesson is going to be called Building an Academic Foundation. But first, let's be our best at HMS this week. Let's be safe, let's be responsible, let's be respectful, and let's be a learner. All right, Bobcats, so one of the things I want to talk about today in education that is a belief that myself and many of our teachers have is education, specifically the middle school years, are about building a foundation. A foundation is so important in life. If you look at a house, it has a foundation. If you look at a solid relationship, it has a strong foundation. Most things in life have a strong foundation. If you look at a tree, when a windstorm comes through, it has a solid foundation. And one of the things I want to talk about how that pertains to academics is building a strong foundation to go from one year to the next to the next. For this example, I'm going to use math. Miss Mooney, Miss McMahon, they get together every PLC, as do the rest of our teachers. On Monday, when you guys get out early at 2:15, you guys get to run around and have fun. All your teachers, they're working hard. And they're talking about, are our kids learning? Are you guys learning? How can we help them learn better? What is it that we want them to know in 6th grade so that by the time they get to 7th grade, Mr. Roberts, Miss Eli know that our students coming in have a foundation based on this. And when they get to 7th grade, then we're going to continue to build on that foundation. I'm not a 7th grade math expert, but I do know that math, they're working on certain things every single year. So that when they get to 8th grade and they get to Miss Cook or Miss Walsh's class, Miss Cook and Miss Walsh know that Miss McMahon, Miss Mooney, Miss Eli, and Mr. Roberts have built a foundation with these students so that they can pick up where they left off in 6th grade to 7th grade, 7th grade to 8th grade, and that they can perform at a certain level. And then they're going to continue to build on that foundation that is built. And when they get into Helena High School and they become freshmen, our freshman math teachers, who I don't even know who they are, but I do know that they're expecting that the 8th grade math teachers at Helena Middle School have these students prepared for algebra or Honors Math 1 or Honors Math 2 or whatever class they are in, and that they're ready to rock and roll. Now, this doesn't go just for math. This goes for science. This goes for social studies. This goes for English. This goes for reading. This goes for literacy skills. This goes for industrial tech. This goes for Spanish. Shout out to Mr. Z. This goes for all of our classes at Helena Middle School. All right, so here's the point that I really want to make today. And this is one thing that I heard from a lot of 8th graders, and I didn't know you current 8th graders that were 7th graders last year quite as well, but this was something that I heard from 8th graders a ton last year, and not all of the 8th graders. Okay, I heard this from a handful of 8th graders, and this is something that really bothered me. They would say, Mr. Flato, I'm going to kind of take the year off. Mr. Flato, I'm not going to get that assignment in. Mr. Flato, I'm not really going to study that hard. And I would ask them why, and they would say, well, it's 8th grade. I'm kind of burnt out. It doesn't really matter till high school. Once I get to high school, I'm really going to kick it in gear. Okay, and this is where our thought process, for those of you that may or may not have this thought process, is so wrong. Okay, so I'm here today to prove my point. So let's pretend that we're going to take the whole 8th grade year off. And we're just going to put this to the side. Okay? So this whole time, we came from our elementary school. We were in 6th grade. We were working hard. Okay? And then we got to 7th grade. And we were busting our butts. We were working hard. We were being Bob. And then we decided we are going to take a year off. And we're going to take this year off in 8th grade. Well, guess what happens when you're in 8th grade and you take the year off and then you go to 9th grade? You don't have an 8th grade level of knowledge. You don't have an 8th grade level foundation built underneath you. Guess what you have? You have a 7th grade level of knowledge. So now all of a sudden, you're 14, you're going to Helena High, and you go to your freshman year, and I hope I don't hurt myself, but I can't make it. So guess what happens as a freshman? You come in, you work hard, you're dialed in, you're being Bob, but you just can't get it done. Maybe that's in math, maybe that's in English, maybe that's in social studies, maybe that's in science, PE, I don't know what it is. But now you're behind. And now, yes, it does really count. Yes, credits count for graduation. Yes, your grade point average counts for scholarships and for valedictorian and salutatorian. Okay, but you're not there. You took 8th grade year off, or you took 7th grade year off. And now you're trying to get there and you can't because you don't have that foundation. And then it's too late. And that's my biggest fear for a lot of you, is that if you take 7th grade year off, you take 8th grade year off, by the time when it does really count, you're in a world of trouble. And now what? Now you got to bust your butt to try to work even harder, to try to make up that lost ground, and that can't always be done. So let's pretend this is English class. You fail English 1. As a sophomore, guess what you're doing again? You're retaking English 1 and English 2. You're taking English 2 and English 1 with a bunch of students that were a year behind you. And that's not a good look, and I know that's not what you guys want. So I'm here at Fire Tower CrossFit today. Again, thank you for allowing me to do this here. It's so important, the point I want to get across. Yes, you're in 7th grade. Yes, you're in 8th grade. Yes, you're starting to get a little tired. Yes, there's that feeling out there that it doesn't really matter till high school. And I'm here to prove to you today and show you today and plead with you guys today that it does matter. Okay? So get to school every day, bust your butt every period, be attentive, be respectful, be responsible, get all your homework assignments in, even when it feels monotonous, even when it feels like I'm never going to use this. Maybe you won't ever use it. I'll give that to you. Maybe you won't ever use a Pythagorean theorem or solving multi-step equations. Okay, I don't solve multi-step equations every day. Newsflash. But I needed to know how to do that in order to get to where I needed to get, which was earn a college degree, earn a master's degree so I could be here. Okay, and I'm going to talk about this in a later Bob lesson about playing the game and how that's all you have to do. I'm checking out here. Can't wait for this next school year. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope some of you got some stuff out of this. I hope you guys took it to heart, because the one thing I do know is I want all of you to have a lot of success this year. I've seen it. I've been there myself. I've done it. I've studied it. And I know that taking a year off and not doing your best, not building that strong foundation, you're going to end up like a tree in a storm, and it's going to blow over. And I don't want that to be you. All right, I hope you guys like that Bob lesson. And that brings us to the quote of the week. The quote of the week is, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And that really fits with academics. If you see here, sweet tree house, you don't get to plant a tree and build a cool tree house like that. We need to build a foundation first. And your guys' foundation is being here in school and being your best academically every single week. That brings us to this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners, who were Sydney Beardsley, Brian Moore, Daniel Forzitz, Kip Neal, and Liam Lassiter. The answer to last week's Jellybean Question of the Week was a floppy disk. Come see me for some jelly beans after school. This week's Jellybean Question of the Week is, there is a chain nailed to the wall. The chain is 10 feet long, and the center of the chain dips down 5 feet from where each side of the chain is nailed to the wall. How far are the two ends of the chain from each other? If you think you know, submit your answer into the Bob box no later than Friday. All right, Bobcats, let's go out and make it a great week at the Helena Middle School.